In the fight to safeguard her family, Kenna Banbury had one weapon, and it wasn't a gun. Right now, she couldn't even hold one, let alone pull the trigger, so that was out. Knives, stun gun, pepper spray. She usually carried those things on any given day, but bad guys didn't need to be annoyed. They needed to be eliminated. Kind of like the nuisance currently following her through New York City, late on a Wednesday evening. If that was who had been behind her for the last half-dozen blocks. Her friend, her associate. Could be anyone, really. But she was pretty sure she knew who it was. Kenna kept walking, while the icy January breeze cut against her cheeks. Cars passed her on the street, going in both directions. Black SUVs and a silver Mercedes. The steady buzz of traffic alongside her was like a drone that seemed to occupy the city of New York. Every second of the day, the sound hovered in the air, relentlessly, except for the occasional siren in the distance. A guy on a bicycle cut in front of her, coming down 121st from her right and crossing to bump off the curb. She slowed her pace for a second, stepped aside and continued down Broadway all the way to 116th Street, where it seemed the person behind her, following her, was prepared to make his move. Up at the restaurant a few buildings ahead, a group spilled out and headed away from her. The light and music from the buzz of humanity inside tipped onto the sidewalk every time the door swung open. She could go inside the restaurant, walk all the way up to the bar, and force a confrontation with her pursuer. In public, where she would have witnesses. But the type of person behind her wasn't the kind to want a big public spectacle. He was, however, gaining on her. Kenna spotted an alcove and kept walking toward it, waiting until she could practically feel him breathing on the back of her neck. She stepped to the right at the last second. He grabbed for her elbow as she spun onto the step and turned, kicking out with her leg. Using the momentum of the turn and the step to give her the force she needed to cut one lower limb out from under him. Unless, of course, he was expecting that. Which he must have been, because he didn't go down. Ramon yelped. He hopped a couple of times on one foot, clutching the side of his leg just above his knee. Ouch! Dead leg. I've got a cramp. Ugh, that hurts. You're mean. Kenna stared at her colleague. She wanted to stand there staring at him and cross her arms in front of her, but that wasn't something currently in her wheelhouse. Not with braces on both wrists.